to Gwen for coming over here, even though I know you're a little under the weather right now. But a couple of weeks ago at our Memorial Day celebration, the announcement was made that the new gazebo over at Kent Lane was going to be dedicated in Gwen's honor, and that really reminded me of everything that Gwen has done for our community. Of course, I grew up knowing Grandma Gwen from the time that I know that I could form memories and playing on the farm down on Sandy Hollow. But you know, I called around to the family and I got more information. Knowing that she was a veteran, I was curious as to when she served and what capacity she served. And this week in the Assembly, we celebrated Women Veterans Recognition Day, which is actually today. It's the 62nd anniversary of the signing of the act that found a permanent place for women within the ranks of the military in the United States. And actually, Gwen's service precedes the enacting of that legislation. While we all know that women played an integral part in every war since our independence here in the United States, because if it wasn't for the women, I don't know the men would have been able to carry on the fight. But you know, the expansion of the ranks during World War II really spurred on what is now, I guess, a second thought to many of us, especially of my generation and those that are younger, that women naturally are part of the armed services. But it was interesting. I learned that she was a WAVE, which was Women Accepted for Volunteer Emergency Service. So WAVEs began entering the ranks in '42, and I understand you joined in 1944, and she ended her stint in the Navy when her husband came to retrieve her after he got out of the service at the end of World War II. And you know, all of us know that Gwen gives to her community, and you know, it's really no shock that she was a member of the Navy, and then when she got out, you've continued your service to our community in numerous ways. And I'm going to go ahead and read, this is a proclamation from the Assembly of the State of New York. And I do a little bit of genealogy with my mother, so I felt it was important to put all of your names on this proclamation.
Wonder it's so big.
Yes, so commending Gwendolyn May Bernice Livingston Acheson. It's very regal. Whereas our great nation and state owe a great deal of gratitude to women who have served and are serving in the United States Armed Forces. And whereas women have a long history of serving in the United States Armed Services and have played a crucial role in creating and defending our nation and state, and as has been demonstrated by their professionalism, dedication, and skills, as well as their patriotism and love of country and liberties, freedoms, and rights protected by their service. And whereas the ranks of the United States Navy in particular were greatly expanded during World War II with the adoption of legislation on July 30th, 1942, creating the Women Accepted for Volunteer Emergency Service, or WAVES, providing significant opportunities for women to serve in the United States Navy. And whereas within 1 year of the enacting of the WAVES legislation, approximately 27,000 women had joined the Navy and were serving our country in many positions in support of our nation's war efforts. And whereas Gwendolyn May Bernice Livingston Acheson, born May 14th in a year that you'll have to look to see, daughter of Claude and Ella Brown Livingston, and married Robert Clarence Acheson on January 28, 1939, joined the ranks of the WAVES in 1944, was in the Hospital Corps, stationed principally at the United States Naval Hospital in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, and served until September 1945. And whereas, since her service in the United States Navy, she has continued to serve her community in the village of Philadelphia, New York, in many capacities, including as Commander of the American Legion, Robert Markwick, Post 798 from 1989 to 1990, is a charter member of the Philadelphia Civic League, the Town and Village of Philadelphia historian, and member of the Bodman Memorial Library. And whereas on June 12, 1948, President Harry S. Truman signed into law the Women's Armed Services Act of 1948, ensuring women would have a permanent place in the Army, Navy, Air Force, and Marine Corps. And June 12th, now being known as Women's Veterans Recognition Day, and whereas the New York State Assembly paused in its deliberations on June 9th, 2010, to pay tribute to the bravery, patriotism, and sacrifices made by women in service to our great country, and to commemorate the 62nd anniversary of the signing of the Women's Armed Forces Services Act of 1948, and to memorialize Governor David A. Patterson to proclaim Saturday, June 12, 2010, as Women's Veterans Recognition Day in the state of New York. Now, therefore, be it proclaimed that as a duly elected member of the New York State Assembly, in observance of Women Veterans Recognition Day, I recognize and commend Gwendolyn May Bernice Livingston Acheson for her service to our country in the United States Navy and commitment to her community. Dated June 12, 2010, in witness whereof I have hereunto set my hand and signature. Addie J. Russell, New York State Assembly, 118th Assembly District.
Addie, could you stand over beside her?
Yeah, on the other
We're going to
side.
get some pictures.
You gonna need a drink?
Oh, okay.
I got a cough drop.
Okay.
Better get a cough drop. Something's dry in here.
Yes.
And move that scarf there.